Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, May 20th. A strong coastal storm will bring a soaking rainfall tomorrow to the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. That all follows a fine day to end the work week. Today will be a very nice day with plenty of sunshine despite a lot of high clouds. There are a lot of cirrus clouds out there, but the sunshine should be able to poke its way through those high clouds for much of the day. With that sunshine, temperatures will respond nicely, reaching the mid to upper 70s in many parts of the I-95 corridor region between D.C., Philly, and New York City by this afternoon. But tomorrow, with that coastal storm intensifying off the mid-Atlantic coastline, there will be a stiff, low-level flow out of the northeast. Temperatures will struggle to pass the 60-degree mark in much of the region, along with those periods of rain. And some of the rain can fall heavily at times. Late tonight, on Saturday, into Saturday night. Not a heck of a lot of improvement on Sunday. We're in kind of an omega blocking pattern in the upper part of the atmosphere. Hence, the improvement will be very slow and painful. Sunday, mostly cloudy. Looks quite likely there will be a few lingering showers. Another disturbance could bring a shower or thunderstorm on Monday, although much of the time on Monday will be rain-free. By the middle of next week, it looks like 80 degrees will be commonplace for high temperatures in the I-95 corridor. Well, let's start off by looking at the current GOES East satellite water vapor imagery loop. Now, this points out a couple of interesting things. First of all, there is a lot of activity going on this morning along the Gulf Coast, kind of a big complex, a mesoscale convective complex now weakening over the western part of Florida, the Florida Panhandle, but right on its heels, a lot of thunderstorm activity. All this indicative of quite an unstable atmosphere here in the southeast U.S. Combine that with a nice spin in the atmosphere right here. This represents an area of a deep upper level low that is moving steadily eastward, and all of this will combine to form a strong coastal storm by the time tomorrow rolls around. That coastal storm will set up just off the mid-Atlantic coastline and produce a soaking rainfall for the I-95 corridor. Now here's a visible imagery loop here, satellite imagery loop from the Penn State Ewald site. Lots of high clouds out there right now. You can see the high kind of milky look to the atmosphere here, the clouds here. These are cirrus clouds, not only over New York City, but really pretty much throughout the I-95 corridor. Despite that, there's sunshine will poke through these high clouds, and again, temperatures will respond nicely, jumping today well up into the 70s from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. Again, afternoon highs probably in the mid to upper 70s with plenty of sunshine despite the abundance of the high cirrus clouds today. Well, here's a look at the current surface map. Not much change from yesterday morning at this time. High pressure sitting on top of the northeastern part of the country. It'll control the weather for one more day, one last day here in the D.C., Philly, New York City metro regions. Again, lots of sunshine despite those high clouds. But down to the deep south, lots of trouble brewing here. We just saw a moment ago the water vapor loop. There's a squall line depicted here by the NOAA forecasters here. Lots of thunderstorm activity, lots of instability. And meanwhile, out in this part of the nation, a deep upper level low. These will combine, move to the north and east, and help to spawn a strong coastal storm by the time Saturday morning rolls around. Rain could push into the D.C. metro region by daybreak tomorrow. In fact, it could be coming down quite hard by the early part of tomorrow in the D.C. metro region. Probably arrives in Philadelphia around 9, 10 a.m., midday hours in New York City. Once it starts, looks like it'll continue through much of the day into the early part of tomorrow night, and there can be some heavy rainfall anytime tomorrow anywhere along the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Well, let's take a look at a few forecast maps using the 0Z NAM North American Mesoscale model. I think this model has a little better handle compared to the GFS, so I wanted to stick with this, and we showed this in yesterday's morning video. This is actually the current look of the 500 millibar level. Last night's 0Z run produced this as a 12-hour forecast, but this is basically what is occurring right now in the upper part of the atmosphere. Notice deep upper level low right here, a nice vigorous short wave in the upper atmosphere. We saw this on the water vapor loop showing up clearly with circulation right there. This gradually moves to the east during the next 12 to 24 hours or so, and that will help to spawn the coastal storm, an intensifying storm, by the time late tonight and early tomorrow morning rolls around. And here's the forecast map for tomorrow morning, Saturday morning at 500 millibars, using last night's 0Z NAM model run. That upper level wave, which currently sits right over in this part of the nation, steadily moves to the east, helps to spawn a coastal storm right in this region right here. Perfect setup for intensification, upward motion on this side of that upper level trough. Notice, by the way, the omega shape to the flow here. We have a flow pattern that generally resembles the Greek letter omega, such as this, and that is generally associated with slow-moving systems, deep upper level trough over the west coast, a deepening upper level trough over the east coast, high pressure ridging in the middle part of the nation. This will help to intensify surface low pressure tomorrow morning, a coastal right off the mid-Atlantic coastline, and because of the omega shape to the upper level flow, it'll be a slow clearing process. Looks like mostly cloudy skies will hang on Sunday behind this coastal storm, and a few showers are quite likely anywhere up and down the I-95 corridor. Well, and now let's take a look at a few surface forecast maps, again using last night's 0Z NAM model run. This is for this evening, Friday evening, and we'll look at 12-hour increments going up to Sunday morning. High pressure still sitting on top of the region this evening, but it's gradually pushing off to the east, and it will gradually give up control of our weather, providing us, however, with one more nice day here as we close out the work week. Inverted trough at the lower part of the atmosphere here, and a lot of rainfall. This is associated with that upper level system moving eastward, and this is again the forecast map for early tonight. Now by tomorrow morning, that rain will already have arrived in the DC metro region. Look for the rainfall to begin in that part of the I-95 corridor probably between 4 and 8 a.m. Could very well be coming down hard in DC as early as 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. NAM has a nice large area of significant rainfall. Couple of low pressure areas here depicted by the NAM model by tomorrow morning. One over the Ohio Valley, and then a second one showing up here along the coast, the Mid-Atlantic coastline. This will tend to weaken, and this will become the major player. Let's now jump ahead another 12 hours. And here we go by early tomorrow night, Saturday evening. Strong low pressure sitting just off the Mid-Atlantic coastline. A nice area of significant rainfall throughout the I-95 corridor, just starting to wind down across the DC metro region. Certainly there can be some rain into the early part of tomorrow night. Notice a lot of light shower activity well behind the surface low pressure system, and that does not bode well for Sunday. Let's now jump ahead to the Sunday morning forecast map. And here we go. By Sunday morning, that coastal storm now affecting New England with the significant rainfall, but notice lots of light precipitation depicted here by the NAM model for Sunday morning. Be a lot of low-level moisture in the atmosphere, and with that very slow movement of the upper-level features, that deep upper-level trough will be slow to move out, hence mostly cloudy skies on Sunday with a few lingering showers, quite likely in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. Still a rain or thunder shower threat for Monday as another disturbance passes through the region. Much of Monday will be rain-free, however. And then by Wednesday, it looks like high temperatures will reach 80 degrees in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City, and that 80-degree warmth should continue on Thursday as well. But in the meantime, a strong coastal storm brings a soaking rainfall to the I-95 corridor as we begin the weekend. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.